Hey, welcome back to another episode of the She's Making an Impact podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Ngom. Let's talk all about our content marketing strategy. This is a huge part of your business is creating content. Content is so important for you to create that know, like, and trust factor with your audience of establishing yourself as an authority and an expert in your industry, right? In your niche. And so, really important that you have some kind of content marketing strategy. I'm going to break this down for you of what we do, but I just want you to think of how could I create content that's going to add value to our ideal client? And one of the biggest things I want you to be doing with your content is include some kind of call to action where they can actually, start working with you somehow or join a webinar, get a freebie. The whole point of creating content is going to be to build that know, like, and trust factor. And then ideally, you want to get people onto your email list. Okay. Okay, so content. I feel like I've been creating so much content for so long. Oh my goodness. Been having an online business for like 11 years now. So I've created a ton of content. Here is, breaking down our content marketing strategy. There's so many different forms of content that you can create. And I want you to be thinking always, how can you work smarter, not harder? So, yes, you could be on Instagram posting content and reels and all those crazy things all day long, right? You could be doing that all day long. I don't know about you though, but I want to have a life. Like, I don't want to my whole life to be revolved around creating content. Back when I was, just starting to get serious about my online business in network marketing, I was following a training and she told me, all right, you're going to post from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every hour on the hour Eastern Standard Time every day. And I'm teachable. I'm like, invested so much money to do this program with this woman, and we were broke at the time. So I'm like, I'm going to do what she says. And lo and behold, it did work at the time. Like, I really grew my Facebook and Instagram account, and it was wonderful. But that's so much content when you think about every hour on the hour, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Like, I was so consistent with that until Facebook and Instagram really shifted their logarithm. And I was like, all right, we're going over to blogging and Pinterest. So, where should you be creating content? There are three main things I want you to be thinking about: Pinterest and blogging, right? YouTube or podcasting. And this will ultimately come down to, do you prefer video? Do you prefer audio? Do you prefer written? Could you do all three? Kind of. I don't think, like, YouTube is kind of its own beast in that like, if you're creating specific content, let's say like for Facebook, it doesn't transition so well onto YouTube. So YouTube is almost a platform that you have to really focus on growing on its own. But what we do is I like the search engine platforms. Search engine platforms. Okay. So this means someone can look for your stuff and find it years later, as opposed to, just Facebook and Instagram. You got to scroll and then it disappears within 24 hours. And then it's like, boom, I spent all this time doing it and it is gone. We have people finding our blog, our podcast, like all this stuff years later, which I love. Like, it just makes sense, right? So what we do, we create some kind of a training like this. Right. So I might be going live and we use StreamYard so I can stream it and go live on our Facebook page and our Facebook group, the She's Making an Impact Facebook group. If you're not in our Facebook group, you should definitely join. It is wonderful. There's like 16,000 awesome rockstar entrepreneurs in there, and we get to connect over there. So just search on Facebook, She's Making an Impact. You'll find it. Join. And then we stream it live on YouTube as well. Is this like the best thing ever to grow on YouTube? No, and I totally get it. But I'm also not in, we're not in the stage of our business in this moment where we're focused on building YouTube. It's just like, it's one of those things. It's there. We're growing in subscribers not as quickly as you would expect, and because it's not a main focus. And you don't have to focus on everything. You don't have to do everything well to have a great content marketing strategy and have a great business. You can just focus on podcasting and be like, I'm just going to only podcast and be so focused here. I'm only going to do my blog, only going to do Pinterest. That's okay. Like, pick your lane of what you want to go deep in and like own that space. Own that space. So I'm like, we're not owning YouTube right now, and that's okay. It takes a lot of work and a lot of being very intentional to create content specific for that platform. I don't have the effort in my calendar right now to do that. It's okay. So where do you want to be? Create your publishing schedule. So how often are you going to be publishing on that platform? I would suggest a minimum of once a week. Minimum. The more often you publish, the more opportunities that you're going to have to get in front of your ideal client and create more of that know, like, and trust factor. Okay. So just know, like, you could do daily. And I remember this, this is actually a lesson from Russell Brunson. He talked about how he published every day for a year. And it was just like he had 15 minutes to commute from his home to his office. So he was like, I'm just going to do marketing in your car podcast and do a podcast on my commute. So I want you to think about whatever you can do consistently. So for me, I'm like, once a week, I can do that consistently. If we get into even sometimes 3 a week, those are bonus episodes. And I'm so happy with that. But I know once a week, we can be consistent. So you want to create your publishing schedule. Okay. And then what I do is I just batch all these different content ideas that I have. So like, what are the things that I want to create content on? I'll survey our audience and see like what questions they have. What are they struggling with? What do they want me to create content on? I might do a little research, and I'll come up with a whole list of all these different ideas that I want to create content on. And then I'll put it on the calendar. So we use Asana to just organize everything. I was just showing one of my private clients how I use it for our email marketing and how we kind of plan out our schedule and our promotion calendar and all that. So we have one for our content of like Facebook and our podcast as well. And so we put it on the calendar, and then Lizzie on our team, our social media manager, and she's going to be editing this episode. She creates a StreamYard for it. So it goes on StreamYard and we put it in our Facebook group page, YouTube. And then Lizzie will take this episode, she'll turn it into a podcast. She'll turn it into a blog post. Our Pinterest manager will take it and put it on Pinterest. Lizzie will take it and create clips out of it, and she'll create posts on Instagram, stories, reels. I think she's putting stuff on TikTok. I'm not quite sure. I don't know how to log in. She did all that. So the whole goal with your content is create it on a consistent basis, add value to your people, and then think, how could I work smarter, not harder? And just, I swear, the secret sauce, if you are consistent and you focus on adding value, you will win. And in the beginning, when you're creating content, it's going to feel like nobody's there, nobody's listening, nobody cares what you have to say. And then pretty soon you'll start getting like emails or comments or messages of like, oh my gosh, I listened and this really helped, or this really resonated. So just know, in the beginning, it's kind of like you're getting crickets, and that's okay. That is okay. And in the beginning, it's probably better because you're not going to be any good. Especially if you're doing video, you'll be like, like kind of like one of those hot mess things. And that's fine. Don't wait for it to be perfect before you start doing this. Just start. Take messy action. And then the more you do this, like if you're like, I'm going to do this every day, I'm going to post every day. If you do that every day, you're going to get so good. You're going to find your voice. And imagine just the connection that you get to make with your ideal client. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. Biggest thing, consistency and persistency. I'm like, those are the two things you need to have a successful business. Be consistent, be persistent. Just keep showing up. Even when it feels like nobody's watching, keep showing up, be consistent. Oh, last thing I didn't write down that, or tell you that we take this and I'll send an email to our list as well, and a text to our list as well. So that's email content as well. So I'll take this and email our list and be like, hey, did you see this video I created? Go watch it. It's going to help you X, Y, Z. Okay. I hope this was helpful. If it was, share it with a friend. And if you need some support in reaching your goals and you want to talk to one of our business advisors, just go to helpmecoachnow.com. You'll get a free coaching session and we can really support you and creating a game plan for you so you can finish out the year strong. All right. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk later. Bye.